So hey guys, we are super excited. We are hanging out here at the Alaska Airlines Lounge in Anchorage, and it's pretty quiet out there. We got some freight planes coming and going. Just saw DC-3 land, so some historic aircraft. We are doing a little bit different route, so instead of flying typically like down to San Francisco or to Los Angeles and catching a long, 15, 18-hour flight across the Pacific, we save quite a bit of time, money, and frustration by making our own connection. So we are flying straight from Anchorage to Honolulu, which is a flight that Alaska Airlines does every day, and the coach on that is like $200 or $300, and I think the first class is about $800. And we're going to stay the night in Waikiki and then jump on another plane and go on Japan Airlines over to Osaka. So the total trip will be 6 hours, 15 minutes to Honolulu, and then 9 hours going over to Osaka. So it's very direct, actually less expensive and less time making the connection ourselves. And we certainly don't mind staying the night in Honolulu for a night, maybe get a quick trip to the beach in the morning before we head over. And we'll be catching up with you in Osaka when we make that connection. That plane leaves tomorrow at noon. So excited for a Japan trip, and come along for the ride.
If nothing else, in a holding pattern to find myself. I talk in circles, I watch for signals, for a clue how to feel.
Guys, good morning from Waikiki. It's a beautiful morning, about 73 degrees. The sun's just coming up, and birds are chirping here as we wake up. So we're gonna be just walking out and go grab some breakfast and then maybe a little coffee. We're planning on getting back to the airport about 9:30. Our plane leaves at 12, and it's gonna fly straight to Osaka about 9 hours. So this evening we'll be in Japan, and we're pretty excited to try Japan Airlines for the first time, and also to try that great new country we've never set foot in. Last night we had an Uber ride back from the airport by a lady who's been here 10 years, but she's from Japan. She had a really nice Lexus, and that was a nice ride. And she told us a lot about Osaka, because she's actually from Osaka. And Osaka is the food capital of Japan as far as street food. And she said it's very welcoming of foreigners, very laid back, but very busy, and there's just a lot to do there. So she was very excited to hear we were going back to her hometown, and we're really excited to see it ourselves. So we're just walking through this part of the airport to get to the Sakura Lounge. With even premium economy, you get to be in the Japan Airlines Lounge, apparently. this area is about like the Alaska Airlines first class, a little bit nicer. We've got a footrest here with our stuff under the seat in front of us. Slippers and headphones, cup holder, tray table, entertainment, luggage, phone storage, and then more power hookups right here. And this is a leg rest that comes out, got a blanket and pillow there, and then this one allows the whole seat to slide forward. Not quite lay flat, but close. I already tell it is so clean here. Here's the airport terminal, and then here's the train station. And the Nankai train is here, and the Japan Railway trains are there. So everything's kind of converging here, and we're going to go down here to get on the train to go into Osaka. Nice seats here. Ultra clean subway. Japanese subway. Okay, here's our Courtyard Marriott in Osaka. Bathroom in there. Sixteenth floor. Nice. Welcome to Osaka. I got the little shower in here where we can see the bedroom from the shower and vice versa. And a Japanese toilet. All the washing, pressure position, front, soft, rear, light flush, oscillation, etc. Haha. So hey guys, we are finally in Osaka. We have our highballs from 7-Eleven. We
picked these up and I was like, what are those? Are those alcoholic? No, they're just tea.
I thought they were tea. So
with 9% alcohol.
Yeah, so I'll tell you the story about those, but we transferred, essentially we made our own transfer in Waikiki. We flew from Anchorage to Waikiki, stayed the night, and then got on Japan Airlines, made our own connection to fly to Osaka. And turned out to save us some money and also time versus like flying down to San Francisco or LA and then a 15 or 16 hour flight across the Pacific. So that worked out well and it was pretty relaxing. We got to go down to the beach this morning. We had some breakfast and some coffee and got to dip our feet in the ocean. So that was nice. And about 9 hours flight from Honolulu to Osaka. And the airplane was a Boeing Dreamliner, very nice. And we find that comfort premium is kind of the sweet spot. So it's kind of equivalent to first class in Alaska Airlines. They had 232 instead of 343, which is what the economy is. So it's much cheaper than buying the business class, the lie flat seats, but still pretty comfortable. There was a leg support and a footrest, and the seat kind of slouched forward, so it wasn't quite laying flat, but
I feel like
pretty reclined.
I feel like it was more comfortable than just a regular recline because you scoot forward.
Your bottom scoots forward while your back goes down, so it's very comfortable. They served us a nice meal plus a nice snack on there, and really just a nice flight over. When we got into the Osaka airport, I was just struck by how clean everything is, and clean and orderly, and the people are small and the trains are small and everything's small, and even the little barriers shuttling the lines around almost looks like bright colors like kindergarten. Very low-key. And so we got onto the train, which is the express train railway back. We figured out how to get a ticket there using the credit card, and we got back into Osaka. and then we had to get onto the subway, and that presented a little bit of a problem because there's a funny thing about Japan is that they've actually gotten really behind the curve as far as digital. So they say that in the 70s, Japan was already in the 90s, and in 2020, they're still in the 90s. So
you need physical tickets.
Yeah, the subway, you have to have a physical ticket. So essentially, we had to go through a kiosk and put a paper ticket in, and they have these fancy digital machines where you can put your credit card or your cash in and get a paper ticket, and then you put the paper ticket in the kiosk and you can go through. Well, it wasn't working reading our credit card, and we didn't have any cash, so we had to find an ATM, which we found at 7-Eleven, and we put our bank card in, got 20,000 yen there, which is two 10,000 yen bills, about 130 some dollars. And then I thought that those bills might be too big for putting in the little subway ticket machine, which is only like 240 yen for a ticket. So went into a 7-Eleven and bought these drinks that we have here. And it's funny because they don't handle the cash at all. You take your 10,000 yen and put it in a tray on this machine, and the machine sucks it in, and then the fancy display says, is this sale correct? And you say yes, and then it spits out your change into another little tray and all the coins. And so then I took the cash over and I put the cash into the subway machine, and it gave me a cute little paper ticket. And then I was able to take the paper ticket and stick that into the kiosk to go through. So they don't have any like AirPay, any apps on the phone to pay for the subway.
Forget about using the watch like we did in London Underground.
When we were in London, we could just, hit our watch and walk through, and everything was through an app. But they have this very complicated computer program that reads your cash and allows the cash to be handled by a robot. And it's just the strangest thing that they have all this high-tech handling of cash. To handle cash money, to give you a paper ticket to go through the kiosk. So it's very strange. And then, got all this change. I'm not used to ever really carrying cash at all. This is a yen, which is like 7/100ths of a dollar. It's like less than a cent. And carrying around all these little coins that are almost absolutely worthless. So kind of interesting. Japan's been very advanced in a lot of ways in the past, but now they're really behind on the digital side, and they're still doing things with cash and paper tickets instead of having apps on your phone like the rest of the world is doing. So anyway, it's kind of an interesting experience. We finally did get onto the subway, and we were very impressed with how clean it was, and it's almost like Disneyland. It's so clean. I mean, spotless green velvet seats, nice woodwork in the subway, beautifully painted cars.
I have to mention, the only litter I saw was directly beneath a do not litter sign.
I haven't seen any litter. So we rode the subway into Honmachi Station, which is where our Marriott is, right in the kind of the center of town. And then we had this giant stairway that we had to go up. There was no ramp, no escalator, no elevator, just lugging our bags up this giant stairway up to the street, and then walked over to our hotel. So here we are, and we've got a great view. First impressions, very clean. If you see the city behind us, it's super dense. That freeway you see back down there, that's like 5 or 8 stories up above the city, on top of buildings, and just all that traffic going by. And all the buildings are very tight and compact and extremely urban area. So kind of feels like being on a different planet almost.
Yeah.
Strange. So we're probably going to go out tonight. We don't feel a lot of jet lag because we're all the way into the next day and almost caught up with ourselves again. So
it's actually almost 2 a.m.
Almost 2 a.m. in Anchorage, and it's about 7 p.m. here. So we're just going to go out and see if we can find some street food. Osaka is the street food capital of Japan. So looking forward to trying some good eats. We're really happy with our room here. We sort of made the switch over from Hilton to Marriott because of the better choices they have here. And looks like it's a lot better. So pretty happy with it. Everyone here is super polite. They're just kind to a fault.
We knew that about the Japanese.
So, cool thing about the culture. All right, over and out for now, guys.
Desperate, if nothing else, in a holding pattern to find myself.
One of the nicest hotels we've been in. All right, so we are stepping out and we are going to walk over to a ramen place. There's the same sign that you could see from our hotel room. Just evening. Yeah, it's a little gas station. You got the pumps dangling from the ceiling because you don't have much space. Cafe. No. I just think this is eerie because it's just absolutely silent here. There's all these people and there's no sound. We're whispering. There's no noise. Little shop. And this is about $4. You just pick your meal and then put your coin in and get your ticket to go inside. Alright, so we're in 7-Eleven. Look at all this stuff. Wow, there's so much food here.